still quite present is really that kind of team spirit that you get from the game, really working together in unknown and trying to find a solution. And for me, it was really mostly kind of a team building exercise, and I like that, because a lot of times we rushing and some of the people in my team, actually I interfere with them in the projects, and almost on a weekly basis, or some of them even on daily basis. And now we had some time actually to step out of the normal hectic, let's say, environment that's very well known to us, into unknown, and learn about each other in a different way. So that's what's kind of stayed with me. For me was really, maybe two things. One that struck me was how important it is to really communicate clearly, and also kind of ask the feedback how people did understand it, because sometimes we think we are perfectly clear, but then the message didn't really came across. So really to ask for the feedback, and ask open questions to see if indeed the message came across, so communication part. And the second thing was really that, we should allow a bit more of trial and error. We have a plan, but then, if we obviously see after some time it's not working, to step back and re-evaluate and try something different. So this is something that I'm really trying to do more in my day-to-day business, let's say.
I have to admit one thing to Daniela and to Julian. When this whole thing about the video game, let's call it, it is like a video game, relating that to leadership traits, I was extremely skeptical, because maybe I'm old-fashioned and that's the way I've been brought up. I always believe you cannot learn leadership from a computer. You roll up your hands, you go through some bad experiences, you sit on the hot seats, and that sort of, it's like a very, very good quality knife. You put it through all the heat treatments, and that's when you get the real thing. So that was my belief, but I went along with it purely to explore. I think Ariana used the word explore, to see what it was. But I was highly, highly skeptical, because I was always trying to make the connect from a video game to leadership and leadership traits, because this is serious business what we do.
Sure.
In the FPSO space, $1.8 billion is not small money for any company.
Yeah.
So I was trying to make the link, but what helped me was not so much the game itself, but let's say when we got stuck in a certain place, we were not able to get access into a certain room, or we got stuck. And then I must really compliment Bob, and I'm blanking on the other gentleman who was kind of the
Eric,
expert.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Eric, the guy, yeah.
Eric, yeah, sorry. So especially Bob, I must credit them. They were able to kind of decode that for us, where a situation which was happening, you couldn't open the door or something, I'm paraphrasing here, how it relates to real life situations. And that's what helped me kind of debug it in my head and say, yes, there is a link to a trait. Yes, it is an example. It's not perfect world. It's not real life scenario. But I took that away. I disconnected that from and it's just my own kind of prejudices, you used the right word. But then by the time the second session, midway through it, I realized that, yes, this is actually describing real life situations, and there is things to be picked up. And one of the things I picked up was exactly what Ariana said. I may be super clear in my mind, saying, okay, that's the direction, because I'm not going to micromanage the team. I just give the vision. That's the vision which has been cascaded to me from my management. And then I leave it with the team. The how, you do it. The what, you manage it, because you guys are all senior. I can just give you where we want to be, or what success will look like, or more importantly, what failure would look like. So we kind of avoid pitfalls, And that's where it helped me to give clarity, so that it's not just from my perspective that it's clear. It should also be clear from the perspective of the receiver. Otherwise, it's a broadcast and not communication. My dad is passed away now, but he used to say there's a difference between stopping talking and actually listening. A lot of people say, okay, I stop talking now and you talk. That does not mean that they're actually listening. On a side note, that's the conversation I have with my wife. I'm not actually listening to her and she's talking, but that's I'm digressing. So that's what I've realized, that sometimes when someone is trying to tell me things, my mind is somewhere else on the next thing to do, but I've been able to now stop and say, really listen. And of course, that's a reciprocal expectation as well. Just not saying something or using the vocal cords doesn't mean they're actually listening. So one of the things that I've learned from here is describe to the team, I can actually give you the history, the context, because I know it's a little bit of detail. My entire team is new.
Okay.
These positions never existed in SBM. So that's a different animal that I have to deal with. And it's also I have to be very careful that I'm not seen stepping on other people's toes. So it's just kind of setting boundaries, setting parameters. So my task is to make sure that these guys, my new team, deliver the business need that was the driving logic for creating these positions, so that we're actually addressing the business need as opposed to doing something else that we think is needs to be done without addressing the business need.
Okay.
So is that recalibration? And when I start thinking back, whether to the CinQ sessions or to some of the things that you said when we met in Monaco, is to actually understand their perspective, because these guys are super skilled, they're super experienced. And for me, getting that value and not just being typical, like, closed shop, or we are SBM and we know what we have been doing forever and we're going to continue to do this. I'm trying to break the barriers down. So a lot of times these guys come up with some very good ideas, which to me appeared absolutely revolutionary to begin with. But then I start dismantling it. And then my guidance would be to marry what we have, the existing model, along with new ideas. So it's dilution more than displacement. I don't know if that word, but I don't want to just displace with a punching bag, kind of dilute it and then slowly build it up to the model that we like. It's very, very challenging. It takes away a lot of time, but it is time well spent for me.
It's really important to be clear on the roles, who is doing what. We had a bit of uncertainty at the beginning, who will do this, who will do that, and some skills emerged along the games, and I realized some people are very good to plan, some people are very good to execute and to act and to be into the moment. And those are different skills. And I think we managed at a point to really have the right people in the right place. We even changed the characters in the course of the game, because we realized that, for example, Anderson was very good as a planner. He was very good, to set strategy, and others were, among me, we were pretty good to follow the instructions and to go into it and so on. And I think that applies to any project, big or small, that it's important to have the right people in the right place. I saw the team spirit evolving along the 4 sessions, and I think we really ended being a team in the end. Which at the beginning was not there yet. So it was really good to see that everyone united to the same objective, and everyone, was really into playing the game of being a team. So for me, that was very interesting to see that evolving along the game. And it's really because it's really SBM in there, that everyone wanted to achieve the goal and make it work and work all together. I didn't felt any competition between people, because we were really, we all agreed to the same objective. It took some time before we are set up to see the progress, but once we were there, we really see, the last session, for example, was really, productive. We achieved a lot in the last one, so it was great also to be able to celebrate that. And another learning for me is that we have to celebrate also when we have success, It's important that the team feels like we are all happy to celebrate that, and sometimes we forget to celebrate things, and I think it's important. At the same time, I felt like once the game is over, each one we go back to our normal life and everything. So if we want to maintain the team spirit and the relation, we have also to be active in that. Taking up on the words of Ariana, that communication is key, and sometimes you feel like you communicate well and you realize that the message was not properly received. I think it's important also to mix the channels of communication, because I realize that some people, they are very vocal and you just need to give an instruction for people to receive it. Others are more visual, so if you can share your screen and show where we have to go, it's better. So the more we expand the channels of communication, the more likely we are to be received correctly.